What is going on, obscure mic people? I'm back. It's been a little hiatus, 12 days. But if you can't tell by my, tie, Bark started a new adventure, and Bark has to dress a little nicer, which is always unfortunate. Like, just pop on a Dead Kennedy shirt. That'd be the way to go. I can't do that right now. So anyways, I'm back. And if you haven't noticed, I don't have an SM7B with me. There's no SM7B in the studio. Sold them all. I had 3 of them. I sold them all. I needed to catch up on my mic card, as I call it, and I did. And I've decided that the Bayer Dynamic M99 is the mic for me anyways. SM7B, it was a good run. It was a good run. I'll have another one in here, I'm sure. So let's talk about what's going on. You need to watch this video. Don't just turn it off because of the kind of microphone that I'm going to talk about today. Not a good idea, because it's very interesting. So I've got the Bayer Dynamic M99 in front of me. A little bit different. I've got processing on. I'm still going to show you the mics with processing off. But when I find one that processing makes a massive difference, we're going to roll with that. I want you to hear good versus hopefully good. So processing is on the M99. I love the way this mic sounds in this exact mode with some compression and a de-esser and a high pass filter on. I like the way the M99 sounds. I think it sounds really good, articulate, clear. On my voice, I love it. So Red Scott, lo and behold, you were right. M99 is the mic for me. So what we're going to talk about today, which I am going to start the video with post-processing on this microphone, is this guy, the Ceno MXGN. What was the rest of that? The MXGN 12C. The 12C. As you can tell, this is a gooseneck microphone on a base. Now, B&H very kindly sent this to me for the sake of this review, for my opinion. Nothing was told to me about what I should say about this microphone, how I should feel about this microphone. I've been making that abundantly clear with anyone who wants to send me product. If I don't like it, you're not going to like what I have to say. So be careful when you send me stuff. It's as simple as that. But B&H, they've worked with me here and there over the past year or two. They know what I'm all about. I know what they're all about. So they sent me this microphone because apparently there's something special about this microphone. Now, out of the box, I would have to agree that this microphone has a lot to offer. It has a touchpad to turn on and off the microphone. It has a flat mode and a low cut mode. It has a mute, talk, and lock switch. Sounds like a rap song. Mute, talk, and lock it. Mute, talk, and lock it. Mute, talk, and lock it. Okay. And, it's got a nice heavy bass to it. It has a red ring when phantom power is on, because it is a condenser microphone. And it has interchangeable capsules. So we're going to start out with the cardioid capsule. B&H was kind enough also to send me a super cardioid and an omnidirectional capsule. Now let me get one thing abundantly clear. I kind of love this touchpad. The touch to talk, I kind of love it. I love that there's a light because I'm a sucker for looks. I love that I don't need a stand for this microphone if I want to use it at a desk because it's a gooseneck. It rises up to me. What I don't love is most of the time, these microphones are very thin and not that great, actually. Like, the use case is not typically podcasting or voiceover or gaming. It's typically PA systems. It's typically, announcing of some kind. But the Ceno MXGN 12C, let me make sure that's right. 12C. I've got it locked. The Ceno is different. It is different. So I invite you to continue listening to this M99 before I turn it off. I think this M99 sounds fantastic. I love this microphone. I plugged in the Ceno MXGC12C, expecting not much, expecting to shit on the people that gave it to me. Like, B&H, this just wasn't that great. And find some use cases where it is and find some use cases where it's not. That's not the case. I think this is a very interesting mic. So without further ado, let's switch over to the very interesting mic. So now we've got the Ceno MXGN 12C in front of me. Now, does it sound like the Beyerdynamic M99? No, it does not. You don't get quite the same frequency range from top to bottom. But what it does sound like is pretty good. It does not sound like your typical thin sounding podium microphone. It actually sounds pretty good. And when you get right on top of the Ceno MXGN 12C, you can take advantage of some of the proximity effect, not a ton. But it does sound, I was surprised, I will say that. I think it's nice and clear. It is optimized for voice, and I actually rather like it. I think that I could podcast with this microphone in a pinch. Now, granted, that's not what it's for. I don't know exactly what it's for, because to me it sounds better than most of the microphones in this style, but I would use it for that. I think it sounds pretty darn good. So let's go ahead. The plosives I know are not going to be great. It did come with a little windscreen, which I have enabled and on here. So Peter Piper picked a patch of pickle pineapple plosives. Without the windscreen, it's Peter Piper picked a patch of pickle pineapple. That's awful. But I didn't expect anything less. Windscreen back on, Peter Piper picked a patch. Okay, so again, I've got compression on this. I've got a de-esser. I've got a big bottom for a little bit of oomph. And that's it. And I think that this sounds reasonably good considering what it is. I was kind of shocked. Now, granted, the M99 is a vocal superstar in my opinion. The Ceno is, again, pretty good. Let's go ahead and go through some of the modes here. Okay, so obviously when I turn this from flat to low cut, it's going to get thinner. Just like this, it just got a whole lot thinner. Now this is what I'm used to a podium microphone sounding like, a whole lot thinner. Let's turn it back on. All right, Ceno MXGN 12C with the flat mode enabled again. And the touch mute button is absolutely sweet. I can be talking and then hit that button and it's gone. The sound is gone. It's very, very responsive on the touchpad. Extremely responsive. A touchpad like a tablet. Now, if you change this from lock mode that I showed you earlier to mute mode, you can literally push the touchpad just to mute a certain word. Like if I wanted to cuss real quick and then let go of it so I can touch. It's only muted while I touch it. When I let go, the sound comes back. So if something crazy is happening and you just want to mute it for a second, and then let go of it and come back in. So the touchpad becomes a temporary mute switch instead of a toggle mute switch, which I think is just really cool. Really cool. Probably heard that truck going on by. So, yeah. This is a cool little mic. I am pretty pleased that I'm sitting here with a different kind of mic in front of me that I actually don't hate. Like, I think this sounds really cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and do some off-axis rejection, even though that's kind of weird. It's going to be odd. Oh, another thing. We've got a permanently fixed XLR cable, which I do expect out of these type of products. I don't typically expect an XLR jack in the back of them, but permanently fixed XLR on the other end. So off-axis noise rejection, this is talking right into the mic. 90 degrees, 90 degrees pointed down, 180 degrees, 180 degrees a little higher, a little lower, 90 degrees, and I'm going to spin it all the way back around to the front of the microphone. I don't know if you're hearing the flesh on metal effect, but it's definitely there. 100%. So let's go ahead and take this microphone. I think it sounds really good with the processing enabled. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the processing off, and it's going to lose quite a bit. Processing helped this out a lot. So let's go ahead and turn processing off. Okay, so processing is now off. It still sounds pretty good, but it just doesn't have that same effect. Still sounds good. I would still use this. The one drawback that I can tell pretty evidently when I'm talking into this thing is the sibilance is a little rough. It gets a little bit breathy. So when I do get breathy, I hear that. I hear that extra breath come out of my mouth. I hear a little bit more emphasis on the S's. So that's okay though. I mean, I think this is a really cool little device, and it would be perfect for a desk setup to not have boom arms and not have shock mounts and not have just a really simple set it on the desk and just record. And without processing, I still think this sounds pretty cool. Still think it sounds cool. The big bottom helps a lot to me. So processing back on, to me, the big bottom and some compression really open this thing up. Let's go ahead. I've not tried the capsules yet. B&H again, cool enough to send me the different capsules. Let's go ahead and try these out real quick. Really easy. This just screws off. The capsule here screws off, has a little metal prong, and then it screws right back on. So they have sent me a super cardioid capsule. Thank you a ton, B&H, for going the extra mile, because these are extra. You don't get these with the mic. These are extra. Let's go ahead and put the super cardioid in. Okay, so I took the cardioid capsule off, and we're rolling with the super cardioid capsule, which, you know, it's cool to also get. And I hear a lot less of that breathiness because of the pattern pickup. I don't hear as much ambience, and I feel, maybe the breathiness is still there, but I lose a lot of that ambience I was getting from the cardioid capsule. It's a little more focused on my voice, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and 90 degree this one. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Back around to the front of the microphone. So super cardioid capsule sounds like this. Now processing still on. Let's turn that off. This is unprocessed super cardioid capsule for the SENAL MXGN 12C. I think the super cardioid capsule sounds pretty good as well. Let's turn processing back on. And now we got processing back on the super cardioid part of the capsule. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I just blinded by the fact that this is a completely different style mic, but it actually sounds really good on voice, in my opinion? Let me know. Am I blinded? Let's go ahead and switch over to the omnidirectional capsule. I don't know if you're supposed to screw the capsules in and out while it's turned on, but I did, and it makes some crazy noise. Okay, so with the omnidirectional capsule, I hear anything untreated about my room. I'm hearing it right now. I hear my fridge. I hear everything. This is a completely different sound. So let's turn processing off. All right, processing is off. I definitely still hear everything in this room. My God. All right, now we've got processing back on. Omnidirectional, 90 degrees over here, 180 degrees. Oh boy, you can hear it all. You can hear everything. It's coming around. Yeah, so the omnidirectional does exactly what it's supposed to do. Pick up loud trucks. Pick up loud trucks. My God. Let's go ahead and pop in the, let's roll back. We'll go back to the cardioid. I thought the super cardioid sounded really good though. Let's roll back. All right, so back to the regular cardioid. Man, I can tell a big difference in this too after hearing the super cardioid. I would definitely use the super cardioid capsule for this, as I think for podcasting or voice applications, it does a really solid job of blocking out a lot of the noise. So there it is, folks, the SENAL MXGN C12. Let me know what you think. I think that this is an absolutely cool mic. I don't even want to bend the gooseneck much because I just like this thing a lot. But the fact that you can use the gooseneck to get whatever angle wherever you're sitting, I just think it is a very intriguing option for a podcaster or somebody doing, gaming. I think it sounds I like the quality sound of it. I think it's got a quality sound in a really different form factor. So I had to be sure on something. So this will run you $139.95 on B&H. It does come with the extra capsule omnidirectional. I don't see the super cardioid, but it does come with the omnidirectional, and then you got the cardioid. So you'll have to buy the super cardioid separate. I want to say it was under $50. I'll put it in the description. But anyways, the Ceno MXGN C12, man, I'm not sure exactly if you're like me and you like a different style of mic, something just a little different, but this here is a desk champion to me. This is a desk champion. I would do a Back Row Dolphin Show podcast all day long with this thing, and I just might do that. So Ceno MXGN Gooseneck Condenser Microphone with interchangeable capsules. So little. Please don't lose these. Please tell myself not to lose these. That's all I got, man. I think it's a cool mic. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I'll also list the link to buy this from B&H. Thanks again for sending it to me. I was skeptic, but I went for it. You went for it. I like it.